Deuteronomy 11 1-28, through the Bible. Chapter 11. Theme: The Promised Land unlike Egypt, the principle of occupancy of the land. God talks to them here about the land they are about to enter. The Promised Land will not be at all like Egypt. And God will give them the principles required for occupancy of the land. A call to commitment. Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments, always. Deuteronomy 11:1. The response to the love of God is obedience. Therefore, shall ye keep all the commandments, which I command you this day, that ye may be strong, and go in, and possess the land, whither ye go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land, which the Lord sware unto your fathers, to give unto them, and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. Deuteronomy 11:8-9. They were accustomed to irrigated fields down in Egypt. For the land, whither thou goest in to possess it, is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowedst thy seed, and wateredst it with thy foot, as a garden of herbs. Deuteronomy 11:10. When I was in Egypt, I was told that the rainfall there is less than 1 inch a year. Now, that is not much rainfall. I've been to a place in the Hawaiian Islands, where the rainfall is over 100 inches a year. That is quite a difference. Obviously, Egypt was dependent upon irrigation. Principle of occupancy of the land. But the land, whither ye go to possess it, is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, a land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year, even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him, with all your heart, and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land, in his due season, the first rain, and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Deuteronomy 11:11-15. The land these people were going to enter would be a little difficult to irrigate because it was hilly. Of course, they didn't have the equipment for it in that day. The land would depend upon the rain from heaven. God did this purposely. He put them on a land that had to depend upon him for rainfall. This would draw the people closer to God. The reason that land is desolate today, as we shall see in Deuteronomy, is because the judgment of God is upon it. The instant water is put into that soil, the desert blossoms as a rose. It is water that it needs, and they are having trouble with water there, even today. God told them that they would be dependent upon rain. If they would obey him, he would bless them with the former and latter rains, that is, the fall and spring rainfall. By looking at that land, you can see the spiritual condition of the people. In an affluent society, such as we live in today, where things come so easily, I am afraid that people assume God has nothing in the world to do with it. I do not understand why people think that if things come easily, they have done it. If things come with difficulty, then God must be in it. Well, God is the one who provides for all our physical needs. Whether things come to us easily or with difficulty, he still is the provider. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him. Deuteronomy 11:22. The great principle of their occupancy of the land is given here. Then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations, and mightier than yourselves. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread, shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea, shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you, and the dread of you, upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Deuteronomy 11:23-25. You will notice that the land is a gift from God. He has given to them a land, which is much greater than anything they have ever occupied. It was from the river Euphrates, to the Mediterranean Sea, and from Lebanon, all the way south into the desert that they had come through. This was approximately 300,000 square miles. They have never occupied more than about 30,000 square miles of it, even at the time when the kingdom reached its zenith, under David and Solomon. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread, shall be yours. It had been given to them by God, and it was theirs, but they failed to walk upon it, claim it, and enjoy it. God told Joshua the same thing. He told him that the land was right there before them, and that it belonged to Israel. But he told them they had to go in, and walk up and down in the land. They had to possess it. Why is there such a difference in believers today? Some Christians are sitting on the sidelines and are poverty-stricken spiritually. Others are fabulously rich spiritually. God makes it clear that He has blessed all believers with spiritual blessings in the heavenlies in Christ Jesus. Some believers claim those blessings, some do not. Some believers enjoy those blessings, some do not. It is a matter of appropriating that which we already possess. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Deuteronomy 11:26. Israel was commanded to obey. Obedience was the very nub of the matter. A blessing, if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. Deuteronomy 11:27. Obedience is something that has been dropped into the background today. I believe in the grace of God. I preach the grace of God. We are saved by grace, we are kept by grace, and we grow by the grace of God. We are going to get to heaven, by the grace of God. When we've been there, 10,000 years, it will still be by the grace of God. But, my friend, there are great spiritual blessings today, that you are going to miss, if you are not obedient to Him. Jesus told us, if ye love me, keep my commandments, John 14:15. Obedience offers a personal, wonderful, glorious relationship with God. The opposite is also true. Disobedience brings with it a curse. And a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other gods, which ye have not known. Deuteronomy 11:28. You will notice that the great issue, over which God is pleading with Israel, is idolatry. There was always the danger that they would turn from Jehovah, their God, and lapse back into idolatry.